Howdy. Well, you all know the drill, don't you? Offline stream segment, no chat right here. I know, I miss them too. I flipped a coin when I woke up this morning, and you wait, is it time or times? Distracted. Let's focus. Okay, Elon Musk, right? I hate him. So do a lot of people, but a lot of people unhate him, like him.
A lot of people unhate him. He couldn't say love him, adore him, huge fans of him. He had to say unhate.
Um, there are a million YouTube channels dedicated to talking about the ways in which his various engineering
Wait a second. Did he just say a million YouTube channels?
channels dedicated to talking about the ways distracted. Let's focus. Okay, Elon Musk, right? I hate him. So do a lot of people, but a lot of people unhate him, like him. There are a million YouTube channels
Okay, wow. He did. He said a million.
dedicated to talking about the ways in which his various engineering
I
products.
at least give him some credit for coming out of the gate honest for once. This is the most honest I've seen him. Like typically because he has a lot of these hit pieces against Elon, and like typically you can just read through the lines that he hates Elon, but like now he's just coming out and saying it, so I appreciate that. I think the last one I reacted to, he started off calling Elon the equivalent of a robber baron. So yeah, it's like this is so interesting to me how much somebody can hate Elon Musk. This like fascinates me.
Projects, both real and imagined, are terrible ideas, and I can't do a better job than them. My favorite of them is, of course, Adam Something, who has like a dozen videos on the various Elon Musk,
I'm gonna have to look that up. Adam something. Apparently, this other guy. He's saying this other guy makes hit pieces against Elon too.
um, dream projects that are soiling the pants of tech nerds everywhere while managing to get absolutely nothing done. I can't steal that thunder. I can't do that better. But there is something specific that happened recently. This Time article that God, that sounds so weird. Time article, just Time, like Time magazine, Time article. Why can't I get over that? God, okay, look, you've probably seen this meme before, right? California and China. I should build a high-speed rail system. But the slow-witted and unfortunate Chinese can't compete with us and our Elon Musk, who decides, no, no, cancel it, and we'll make a Hyperloop instead. And then China builds thousands and thousands of miles of high-speed rail while California gets nothing. And this meme is, of course, completely correct. This is one of the few things that I actually will praise China on. It may be
No, it's not. Here's why. That meme and his everything that he's said up to this point sets a false premise, and that's that the Hyperloop system is something that Elon Musk has actively pursued and is one of his businesses. That's incorrect. To give some background, and I have no clue if Vaush is aware of this. I don't think he is. Elon Musk basically wrote, I want to say like the equivalent of a white paper on the Hyperloop. One of his many ideas that he basically put on paper, but never was like, this is like something that's critically important that I need to put all of these other projects on hold and get to. The Hyperloop was one. The other one was what's called a VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing, vehicle. Those are the two that come to mind without having to look anything up. There's probably others, but yeah. So Hyperloop was like a white paper, and he didn't have his own time or resources that he felt like to devote to it outside of the Boring Company, which is, I believe, has already completed a small tunnel in Vegas, or there's also one, I think, at his Hawthorne factory in California, um, next to the Tesla plant there. But, anyways, one area that he's like, you know what, this really needs some help was the area of creating tunnels. He's just like, it's way too expensive and the crap moves too slow. And so they've built the best, most efficient, and fastest tunneling machine ever, and it's still, he jokes that it's still like trying to beat the snail from SpongeBob. He's like, it's like still like this slow, but it's actually still pretty considered pretty fast. Anyways, Elon Musk created that company to bore tunnels, but has not created like a Hyperloop company. I think he trademarked the term Hyperloop. But basically, he had like an event that he went to and did like a fundraiser and basically said, look, you guys take this idea of mine and run with it. So that's just a little background on it. So like this meme here, you know, like that, it's like he's basically trying to knock Elon for saying something and not doing it. And it's like, okay, just to be clear, Elon never said like this was some shit he was really at the moment jumping into.
Builds thousands and thousands of miles of high-speed rail while California gets nothing. And this meme is, of course, completely correct. This is one of the few things that I actually will praise China on. It may be, a nightmarishly overly surveilled, authoritarian, state capitalist nightmare country, but they do wrangle state projects in line. They have been known to spend money on things that actually exist, which is a great thing to spend money on. Look, the reason I care so much about this is because Elon Musk has enjoyed a really rosy reputation with mainstream media for a while. He gets jerked off on television anytime he says he's going to invent some new wacky thing. I mean, he has his scandals, sure, but the media has. I feel
I can't even follow what he's saying. Invent some new wacky thing. What has he invented that's wacky? He's revolutionized the electric vehicle industry and advanced it by at least 10 years and brought it to a, like, if you take out Elon Musk, it's extremely fair to say and pretty much conservative to say that none of the other OEMs, car OEMs, would be where they are at today with electric cars. Tesla was kicking their ass so hard that he brought them to the electric market, kicking and screaming, and here we are today. What's wacky about that? He has a spaceship company dedicated to making life multiplanetary, getting us to Mars. What's wacky about that? And then he just called it a scam or a hustle.
like the attitude is turning on him a little bit. I mean, he's obviously gone like he's been Republican recently. There's the whole sex scandal thing. Um, there was the him announcing that any attacks against him were like being done as a kind of political partisanship, like immediately before like all that stuff came out about him. The tides are turning a bit, but what I really want, I don't just want people to hate Elon Musk. That's not enough. I want people to hate what Elon Musk represents, this kind of fake futurism. So this article talks about the problems with Musk. I like the title here. Elon Musk is convinced he's the future. We need to look beyond him. I like that a lot. I like that title. Um, but there's a section down here that refers to something that I wasn't aware of. And I kind of want to point to it because maybe there are people in my audience who were aware of this. I wasn't. I'm a little embarrassed in that, but maybe we can all learn something today. You can read through the whole article if you want. A lot of the stuff in this article is stuff that I've gone over on stream before. It is really remarkable how bad Elon Musk is, like on every level, like from the dishonesty to the false claims, to the scandals, to the like workplace conditions that he forces people to suffer under, to his, like there's so much to go through. Um, I swear the only times I even hear about Tesla these days is when people on social media are making fun of their god awful auto driving capabilities, which Musk, of course, overpromised on.
Update 10.69 is insane. I just tweeted on Twitter. I retweeted this guy posting FSD version 10.69 handling this extremely complex intersection. Like it was like two or three lanes going this way, and then there's a median, and then there's another two or three lanes going to the left. And I thought the car was just trying to turn right, and there was tons of traffic. The car by itself waits for the right moment, cuts, gets in the middle of the median, and just barely avoids that other side of the road traffic hitting it, waits, and then goes. Like that was a traffic stop that a human would have had a difficulty doing, and FSD version 10.69 just handled it like a champ. So, yeah, it's like, let me rewind this again because he said a couple other things.
I'm a little embarrassed in that, but maybe we can all learn something today. You can read through the whole article if you want. A lot of the stuff in this article is stuff that I've gone over on stream before. It is really remarkable how bad Elon Musk is, like on every level. Like,
I think it's important to respond to videos like this because it's so insane. I mean, you've got to, let's just look at the big picture of this. You have this guy here who just like mentioned sex scandal. It's so ridiculous. It was an article that came out that said he promised some flight attendant a horse if she would like have sex with him or something like that. That's the general summary of it. And he made, I mean, just the biggest joke about it because he was like, first of all, I don't ever have flight attendants. It's my fucking jet. Like, and he's got to have a jet because he's so famous and he's got businesses in multiple states. I could see Vaush knocking him for having a jet. So has never had a flight attendant. At least that's what Elon claims, which I would believe. And then like the horse thing. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, what the hell? And that was in the actual claim. It's like at least come up with something better. I mean, that's hilarious. But to get back to the point, this guy, Vaush, has some really weird sex scandals. Destiny has a couple of videos exposing those. So, but anyways, just to get back to the point, here you have this guy who has done absolutely nothing with his life, right? Other than make bullshit videos like this. And he's sitting there criticizing someone who's devoted his entire life to helping humanity progress. And it's just so crazy, and I'm such like, I'm a free speech advocate. So like, I think he has a right to sit here and share his opinion. I will 100% always disagree with opinions like this. This is insane to me. There are criticisms of Elon Musk. Like, I was just defending full self-driving a second ago, right? But it's also fair to say that, the timeline has been not what, he's communicated. And he'll be the first to admit he's not good with timelines. But he'll also, tell you this, and it's true, that he fucking delivers. Like, I said I was going to do something, and I did it. That's more than you can say for most Americans. People sit around, I have an idea. Fucking do it. How many people actually do it? There's a Steve Jobs quote. I'm going to butcher it. Taking a great idea into a great product requires an incredible amount of engineering and ingenuity and, something like that is how it goes. And it's so true. But it's just like, it makes me so mad that a guy like this who's done fucking nothing other than, sitting here filming himself, hating on somebody that's doing something, like, go fucking start a couple of businesses and then come back. I mean, it's just like you shouldn't even be able to. anyways, I'm still fascinated to know why. Like, why do you hate somebody so much that started off in your corner? This is like the crazy thing to me. It's like Democrats, because his views, a lot of people actually share these. Like, I worked with a couple of liberals, and they hated Elon Musk. It always blew my mind why.
From the dishonesty to the false claims to the scandals to the like workplace conditions that he forces people to suffer under to his, like there's so much to go through. I swear the only times I even hear about Tesla these days is when people on social media are making fun of their god-awful auto-driving capabilities.
It is objectively true that the world is better because Elon Musk and his companies. Actually, tonight, it's 7:19. In 40 minutes, T-Mobile and SpaceX are going to be announcing some sort of amazing partnership on some type of solution. I'm guessing it'll be like some small town rural solution to get people coverage in places they don't have it today. The only thing I can think, I'm super excited to watch it, is that T-Mobile might be, I don't know, leveraging some of its spectrum with SpaceX. And they're like, I don't know, this should be super interesting. But this guy is wrong when, like what I just said, it's objectively true that Elon Musk and his companies have made the world a better place. Stop. Like, period. You can still criticize, but have it be fair. Like, there's nothing fair about, I fucking hate Elon Musk. He's a shitty person. He's never done blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's so one-sided.
Which Musk, of course, overpromised on, saying that by now we'd have like fully autonomous vehicles. Obviously, we don't.
Like I said, been off several times with timelines for that, but he's delivering. Go watch the video of FSD 10.69. It's insane. Actually, maybe we can pull it up. Let's see. See if I can find it.
The more I think about it, the more for a reasoning, and then while this is, of course, and finally, don't forget we are both Tesla and Amazon affiliate. Shit. Not until the mid.
That's misleading. So this picture right there, with the one with Elon Musk's face, that picture of that intersection is the one that I remember. So that's kind of misleading that he used it as his thumbnail. Figured he would have had that video in there. Oh, hey, let's just watch a new one. The one I saw was on Twitter. Maybe, I'm assuming the guy didn't upload it to YouTube, but we'll increase the speed.
Good morning, everyone. It's August 24th, 2022, and I'm doing a larger test loop with FSD Beta 10.69 in Santa Clarita, California. So I'm trying to hit multiple different situations along a longer route, so this will be a bit of a longer video than I usually do. We're going to go through city streets, on-ramp onto the Highway 14, off-ramp with a stop sign, right turn and merge, a roundabout.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Bloom Canyon Road.
And then heading back up to this point again. So we'll see how this goes today.
Now turn left onto Plum
Coming
Canyon
up to a
Road.
complex
Start off with control left
intersection.
onto Plum Canyon Road. Looks like it's quieter right now. Okay, we got a car from the left. Needs to be forward to see from the right. It can go right now. It can go. There we go. Excellent left turn.
Oh my gosh.
It's not dragging its feet on that
That's
either. Excellent.
insane. This shit should be praised. Again, it's fair to say that the timeline to get FSD hasn't been accurate, right? But this is fucking insane. This is the most advanced technology on the planet. And this dude is just like, oh, he's just a scammer, and he's wrong about everything, and he's a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. Without him, you don't have this. Without Steve Jobs, you don't have the iPhone. I don't care what you say about Steve. Steve Jobs is an asshole. You know, he was mean to his employees, blah, 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 blah. Most of that, and a lot of it is warranted. You know, Johnny Ive has a couple of interviews where he said, you know, there's a couple of times where I told Steve Jobs, can we not be nicer to our employees? And he looked at me and he said, Johnny, I'm surprised at you. I didn't know you were so vain. Johnny was like, what? He said, yeah, I thought you valued the product over what people think about you. That's just a quote that Johnny Ive said about Steve Jobs. That's my best Johnny Ive impersonation. This is fucking insane.
Really seeing a lot of amazing improvements from the left turn. Uncontrolled left from the Tesla AP team. It's amazing work that they've been doing.
In 500 feet, turn
Okay, so this right turn. Okay, we're gonna have green this time. So here's the entry, which has been doing pretty good on here. There we go. Started. No turn signal for the lane change, but here's the turn signal for the actual turn. Make it through on this yellow. This is on just 50 hertz. I'm just gonna manually go with the speed. There it goes. Okay, got it now.
Handled that like a champ. And this, what you're seeing here is going to translate to robots. They're using this same technology for the Tesla bot, which for those who don't know is a robot that, you know, is a humanoid robot that will handle everyday tasks that you don't want to do. Take out the trash, cook you breakfast, you know, bring you a drink out of the fridge. You know,
There wasn't a long lag after it got out of the way. So
as it progresses, it'll do more things like your laundry and things like. We're not
I'm surprised it's not getting the left hand from the left turn. Left turn
we're
and
not
still
sure how good the dexterity is of it. But there's an event on September 30th where apparently they're going to demo the Tesla bot, and it's something I cannot wait to see. I mean, because that's
I really like the new visualization for regenerative braking versus
so awesome.
mechanical braking. It's nice to see how much it's using of each as a driver.
Let's see if we can find any other.
Maneuver.
Okay. Wow. This is an extremely complex. That is 3 or 4 lanes on both sides. On the traffic going eastbound and westbound, there's like 3 or 4 lanes. And he's trying to go left. And he's not even touching the steering wheel. I think this one has a traffic light though. So the one that I was referring to didn't have a traffic light. So like the car literally, without a traffic light, navigated an intersection just like this one, where he needed to go left, and there was like 3 lanes going this way and 3 lanes going the way that he needed to go across the street. All right, light just turned green and it's going. Wow. And now it's flying down the highway. That's fucking insane.
I'm really enjoying the acceleration control in this.
All right, I just want to quickly show you guys 10.69 because I thought, you know, it's worth sharing. This dude's knocking FSD as a in whole like it's just a fucking scam that's gone nowhere. So let's see here. Let's get back to that other tab.
But Musk has a history of floating false solutions to the drawbacks of our over-reliance on cars that stifle efforts to give people other options. Love seeing stuff like this in a Time article. The Boring Company was supposed to solve traffic, not be the Las Vegas amusement ride it is now. As I've written in my book, Musk admitted to his biographer Ashley Vance that Hyperloop was all about trying to get legislators to cancel plans for high-speed rail in California, even though he had no plans to build it. Several years ago, Musk said that public transit was, quote, a pain in the ass, end quote,
So he just confirmed what I said at the beginning of this video, that Elon Musk never came out and said, I'm building the Hyperloop. Like that's something I'm like actively pursuing.
We're surrounded by strangers, including possible serial killers, to justify his opposition. And then over here, we have a section from that book, right down here. At the time, it seemed that Musk had dished out the Hyperloop proposal just to make the public and legislators rethink the high-speed train. He didn't actually intend to build the thing. It was more that he wanted to show people that more creative ideas were out there for things that might actually solve problems and push the state
That's
forward.
what I said.
With any luck, the high-speed rail would be canceled, Musk said as much to me during a series of emails and phone calls leading up to the announcement. Quote, down the road, I might fund or advise on a Hyperloop project, but right now I can't take my eye off the ball at either SpaceX or Tesla.
That's exactly what I said.
He wrote. Yeah, right there. There was no intention of actually building that project. It was just a way of convincing state legislators to not put funding towards the high-speed rail. And it is terrifying to think that an enormously powerful political body like California, one of the largest economies in the world on its own as a state, can have its internal civic policy, its infrastructure, completely rerouted by the empty, claims of a egomaniac billionaire. It's genuinely insane. It's psychotic to imagine just that power, He didn't even have to spend money for this. We talk about like the power the wealthy have over our country through stuff like...
I'm not sure where he's going with this. It seems like Elon Musk presented a better solution to a problem getting from A to B locally. What the fuck? Like, what is your point? I can't believe that the state of California would even listen to this. It's a better fucking solution from a guy who's clearly proven with his companies that there's a better way to do shit.
Like lobbying or, business deals with the government, or like the kind of mutual reliance, because the government knows that if corporations leave an area, it can be devastating to the economy, so they have to make concessions. This doesn't even require that level of investment. All Elon Musk had to do was lie about a future project, and bam, high-speed rail in California, congratulations, you get nothing for more than a decade. Just nope, whoop, sorry. We were going to spend, tens, hundreds of billions on a modern rail network, but rich men say he might maybe do project later sometime. Truly horrifying.
I think that's a hugely disingenuous and a stretch to say that California isn't where he wants it to be or where he thinks it should be with their railroad system because Elon Musk said he had a better solution. Like, I would need him to show me where they basically pinned that on him for 10 years. And if so, that's not Elon Musk's fault. That's fucking California's fault. He should be mad at California, not Elon Musk. Hey, I have a better solution. Oh, okay. We're going to put this on hold for 10 years, even though you've publicly said you're not building it. The fuck? What are you mad at Elon Musk for with that?
And I think, that alongside the comments that Musk has made, where he clearly hates the concept of public transportation, which is really obvious if you see any of the shit that he's proposed.
Everybody hates public transport.
The purpose that all of this serves in the mind of people like Musk, they hate you is the thing. The reason the wealthy don't like trains is because A, minimal upkeep and broad government oversight means that you can't bilk people the way that you can with broader car transportation. Car infrastructure and everything associated with it is just a gigantic money-making machine for everyone who gets to live on a yacht. From the subsidized transportation network to the actual cost of car and all the maintenance that goes into it, the reliance on gas, which continues to pump money into the fossil fuel industry. Cars cost, I think the average American family, something like $7,000 to $9,000 a year to own. That's maintenance and gas costs, which is insane. That is a huge amount of money when you think about the median income in this country being what, $60,000 to a household, or is it I forget the exact number, something in that ballpark. I mean, you're talking potentially like 10 to 15, up to possibly 20% of an income being used on the a car. Like, people don't understand, and this is what they don't want you to understand. Transportation is a purely utilitarian service. As much as they try to dress it up with your fancy cars and your cup holders and shit, you know, and don't get me wrong, I like fancy cars and cup holders and everything. As a social project, transportation is just about getting people to where they need to go. It is a blatantly utilitarian. It's like a fundamental. I mean, Rome built the roads, right? You know, Rome wasn't building fucking, cobblestone hyperloops out here. If you need people to be somewhere, and we do, you have to make sure it's possible for them to get there. This is, not only is it very socially destructive to have people who need to,
He's just on some ridiculous rant. Dude, we get what the fuck public transport is designed for. We get that. He's failing to admit the problems with it. It's slow, it's nasty. I live in Atlanta, and I could walk to a MARTA station that we have here. It's one of many. And I got season Hawks tickets, well, the 20 pack, if you want to even call it season tickets. I got the 20 pack to the Hawks last year, and did not include parking. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take MARTA, because MARTA goes right to State Farm Arena. And as I thought, it was fucking miserable. There was games that I missed simply because I didn't want to take the public transportation that he's sitting here praising. Public transport sucks.
Drive through massive commutes, 2 hours.
Now, just to give it some praise, like, I mean, it has, like, it had a good purpose in mind, like, let's get people from A to B, but it's been stagnant for, decades, and it's not kept up well.
That way, 2 hours this way, have to drive 40 minutes to get to the grocery store. Not only is car dependency destructive on an individual level, on a civic level, it's horrible for our economy, because the only thing you're doing when you're sitting in traffic is contributing to wasted man hours. That sounds like kind of a demeaning way to think of like an individual, but think of it in like a...
Elon Musk started the Boring Company because of the point that you're kind of making, which is like sitting in traffic is not good. That's why he made the Boring Company. He was literally sitting in traffic one day and said, holy shit, this is fucking terrible. There's got to be a better way. Let's make high-speed underground tunneling.
Broader social capacity, right? We have finite lifespans, and we have finite amounts of time in our day. The more time we spend on in traffic or trapped in some kind of inefficient transport service, the more labor gets spent on maintaining car infrastructure when it could be more efficiently spent maintaining, say, train infrastructure. This is a social expenditure that
Okay, this is like a mind fuck. He's saying that sitting in traffic blah, 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 is bad for the economy because it's wasted man hours, and this is why, like, public transport and a high speed rail system is good, but failing to acknowledge that this guy who this video is a hit piece on has two different solutions to the fucking thing he just said. Oh, people sitting in traffic is wasted man hours, bad for the economy. Yeah, you and Elon would agree on that. That's why he's making full self-driving, so that the fucking car is driving. You're back in the back seat on your fucking laptop, knocking out some work. And then the underground tunneling, so you're not sitting in traffic. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Do you see how ironic this is? This dude has a 20-minute hit piece on Elon Musk, and he's just like, sitting in traffic's bad for the economy, blah, 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 blah. That's why we high-speed rail system, blah, 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 blah.
the long run adds up to trillions, and not just in like direct monetary GDP make line go up, senses, but that affects all of us in our day to day. We all value that time. There are countries in this world with better transportation systems than we enjoy. In fact, there are a lot of them, and the stories that you hear from Europeans visiting America about the state of our cities, the inability to walk around them, the reliance on car infrastructure, the fact that there's no public transportation, this isn't they are not envious of our luxurious cars. I will say that much. That's always how it was sold, right? That was, oh God, I'm rambling again. Oh no. This stuff is always,
yes, you are.
I'm not educated enough in this stuff to have what's the,
You're
what
not.
was the, what's the old quote? If I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter. I think in this case, it would be, if I knew more things, I would have done a shorter rant. Let me see if I can draw a point out of this. There are so many things that I want to say. I feel like I've said a lot of it before.
No, you're so fucking wrong.
Elon Musk
That's why you're lost
isn't
right now.
just an egomaniac with minimal engineering knowledge.
Oh, okay. He's just an egomaniac with limited engineering knowledge. Thank you for that insight.
Foists on his engineering teams an unattainable dream of fake, techno-futurism. He is that, but that's not all that he is.
Okay.
He is a representative of an ideology.
Oh.
And this ideology is one of extreme classism in the infrastructural sense. Elon Musk represents the Silicon Valley attitude towards problem solving, which is express lanes and disruptive innovation, even if it doesn't make anybody's life better. A project is worthwhile if it turns heads, if it draws headlines, if it brings everyone to your big reveal parties or whatever. If everyone wants to watch you cut the ribbon and show off your RBG GB gamer tunnel lights. But it's not about serving the people. Infrastructure is about serving the people. I believe infrastructure should be made beautiful, and God, don't get me started on how beautiful train stations can be. I mean, in a lot of cities, they're like some of the most beautiful places just because those buildings are old, and we made buildings prettier back in those days.
The one time that I've been mugged was at a train station. Sitting there, I think we were playing, we had Pokemon Go out. This group of guys came up, snatched it out of the girl that I was with hand, took off running. It's crazy.
I am a big advocate of the idea that infrastructure should be beautiful and serve the common interest. But public transport is necessarily a proletarian investment. The ultra wealthy do not need the government's dollar to get to where they need to go. They can get there however they want. If you have enough money, there is effectively no limit to the options available to you. You can hire drivers. You can take a helicopter. I don't know. You view the Kardashians taking private jets for 20-minute drives across LA. It's not about them. It's about the common people, right? I mean, it's about everyone, And our American attitude towards the public transportation, that's like a dirty term for us. Like, oh, it's for common people. That's what we think of when we think of trains, reflected in Musk's attitude towards them, that they're dirty and you might see a serial killer. As if Elon Musk himself would not be by far the most likely candidate to be a serial killer if you were, taking any transportation he built alongside him.
What? What the heck? Oh my gosh.
The idea is that public transportation is like this dirty thing, like gross, homeless people and drug addicts and gum under every seat and dirt and shit and whatever. And
the last time I rode MARTA, there was fucking urine in the seat, bro. Like it's a good thing in its conception. Like, let's have a cheap way for people to get from A to B. It's good in its inception. In practice, it has a lot of flaws. This dude's painting this picture like public transport's the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread.
To be fair, given how underfunded public transportation is in many parts of the United States, that's not entirely an unreasonable like gut assessment for a person to make of a lot of our services. Okay, I grew up in LA. I took LA Metro lines. I'm aware they're not even as bad as New York Metro lines. So I mean, the line can go down from there. But that was a choice that we made. American public transport wasn't always like that. The world's public transport is not necessarily like that. We chose to underfund these services, and we pushed people onto them, namely the most desperate and poor, the people who were least likely to be able to keep up with the expenses of car culture. Essentially, we pulled everyone into a system that vastly privileged car infrastructure and car ownership, and only the few desperate who were completely incapable of entering that world, especially in like inner city slums or areas where like the idea of affording a car for some people is just a complete fantasy. Like they don't even have any credit to speak of. So those people use public transport, and it sucks. And obviously, when you have no money going into a service and only the most desperate people are using
Oh
that
man,
service,
I've never
you're going to
disagreed with somebody so
cultivate
much. I disagree with every single premise he just set, that like he said we're pushing people to the public system, and then like other people to cars, and only the unfortunate have to take. None of that's fucking true. People choose what the fuck they want. Cars are so good, not because, billionaires are pushing cars, but because people fucking want cars. That's why they've been so successful. People want to jump in a fucking car and go wherever they want to go. They don't want to have to wait at designated stops of a public railroad system.
Reinforce a negative attitude towards that service. Musk is not just this descriptively. Musk is this prescriptively. Elon Musk isn't just saying, oh, well, things are bad as they are. I believe in his mind, public transportation as a concept, the idea of serving the public, the idea of an all-access system is ideologically bad. He hates you if you are not capable of keeping up with his disruptive innovation, which is why all of his ideas for public transport innovation are like, at best, they're little Disneyland rides.
He hates you if you're not on board with like his Hyperloop idea. Where does his brain come up with this? Like, I'm genuinely curious where the hell he where even thinks of shit like this. Why would Elon Musk hate anybody that?
And at worst, they're essentially just fast pass lanes that cost 80 times as much to set up as a regular fast pass lane that you can only access if you already have the wealth or the materials to take advantage of them. They don't serve the public interest. He will never want to serve the public interest. Why do you think he wants to go to Mars? Every time he talks about going to Mars, like everything he talks about, it's his little space rocket, send rich people across the world in 2 hours, going to Mars, the Hyperloop, Teslas, all of it. It's never about you. It's never about people. It's always about the elite few. It's the ideology of a capitalist prepper.
Oh my gosh. If it was never about, if what he just said is true, and this video is going on, I'm approaching 45 minutes in. If Elon Musk only cares about, I guess, himself and the elites and is an egomaniac, why hasn't he just bought a fucking island, 20 years ago, whenever the hell he sold Zip2 and PayPal, called it a fucking day? The proof is in the pudding, dude. This dude clearly fucking cares about the future path of humanity, and that's why he nearly went broke trying to advance space ships and rocketry and electric vehicles. Look it up, Vaush. He nearly went broke. He put every single dollar he had into those companies, and both of them almost failed. he was lucky enough to his fourth launch with SpaceX succeeded, and with that he was able to then win a contract from NASA. And then Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy with the Model 3 production because fucking I have never tried to manufacture a car, but I can only fathom how difficult creating vehicles and manufacturing is. That can't be understated. Manufacturing is one of the most difficult engineering tasks that exist. Creating your own fucking thing out of nothing. There's nothing harder than that.
It's the ideology of somebody who thinks that things are falling apart and he just wants to be part of the privileged class that will get to survive the end times, you know?
No, it's so wrong. He's not catering to just the elite and himself. Everything that he's done is for the greater good. Everybody wants a Tesla. They're expensive to make, but he has small margins. I mean, I think all of his margins are in the 30% or less range. Maybe it's 10%. I don't want to get that wrong. I'm not sure. Actually, let me Google that. What are Tesla's margins? Yeah, I think it was 30%. I mean, that is a very modest and fair margin. It's not like he's fucking just making crazy profits, and overcharging for this shit. It's pretty fair margin. Like the stuff that they're buying up, lithium ion, like they're making their own batteries now. This shit is fucking expensive. But anyways,
it's the ideology of the world is crumbling to dust. Let me use let my last step on this world be an effort to kick the orphan child who's clinging to the airship, off so that I can escape unsullied by their presence. It's escapism for the wealthiest man in the world, and he's dragging literally tens of millions of people down with him.
No.
Like it's a ladder that he's trying to climb, and every step up he takes requires him to worsen the lives of an uncountable number of people.
It's insane.
It's disgusting. It's sickening. It genuinely
sickening.
is. I hate him so much. In a way, I hate him more than I hate a lot of the fascists. In government, the GOP type, Trump, whatever, all these fucking people, DeSantis, because I feel like in a way there's a kind of raw purity in their belief.
He hates Elon Musk more than Trump. That's saying a lot because the Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. And so for him to say he hates Elon Musk more than Trump, and he's clearly a leftist, it's like, wow.
Their complete rejection of empiricism, their openly genocidal, ideology. It's sort of the dumb, refined energy that you'd get from just like a fucking anime villain or some shit, like just evil for evil's sake. There's something to that, and there's nothing redeemable about it, so it's easy enough to regard and deal with and categorize. But Elon Musk is really, really, really ruining something that I do like, which is a vision of a better system. Like there are people who might otherwise have an interest in, an understanding of, or at least a respect for, like the project of using talent and wealth to create new solutions to existing social problems. And then they go ahead and they fall into the fucking Musk pit, It's taking a legitimate, honorable drive and corrupting it with this insane anti-pragmatic classism that's just ruined so many people.
You done?
Yeah, I'd say 20 minutes of rambling about that. I mean, I could just do this on stream and ramble for like 5 hours, but I really don't like him, man. I don't like him. He's not good. He's bad. I don't like him at all.
Oh my god, that's how he ends it. He just like long pause. Long pause. I really don't like this guy. That's how he fucking ended the video. Oh my gosh. Where's this SpaceX thing at? Because I've got 7 minutes before that starts. SpaceX. I assume they're live streaming it from their channel. Yep, there it is. Oh, yes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end this broadcast and probably go live on this. Thanks for watching this video. If very curious for what you guys' thoughts are on this, I actually value consensus and disagreement. I mean, if you think that hit piece from Vaush was spot on, I actually would be curious to see that in the comments. But please explain why. His is just, I don't know why, I can't explain it. He just has this bias, hatred toward Elon that I think is unwarranted. I think Elon is a guy who, again, 15, 20 years ago, when he sold Zip2 and PayPal and got 160 million or something like that, he could have disappeared from the face of the earth, went and bought a huge mansion on an island somewhere, never heard from him. And instead did the most noble thing that this guy Vaush himself would not do, which is create companies that would better humanity and go all in and put every single freaking cent you've got into those companies and just working your ass off 80 hours a week plus to advance society. I mean, it's just like every single thing this guy just said in this video is so ill-founded and wrong, and just the lens of which he's looking through is just so skewed that I actually feel bad for this guy, that he has to wake up and get mad at things that should be making him happy. You know, like, I'm so excited and happy for this event that's starting in 5 minutes, SpaceX. Every time SpaceX does an event, I get super excited because they're doing something that NASA could only ever dream of, which is trying to make space flight free. I'm no, sorry, cheap, not free. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you compare apples to apples, NASA versus the private sector, it's insane. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want me to do more of these, let me know in the comments. This is a tech channel, but when I see people knocking tech like this, it just irks me, and I got to make a video about it. That's it. See you guys in the next one.